Hours at the helm of the capital city. Msimanga expected to formally vacate office tomorrow. He resigned last month to pursue his Gauteng Premiership candidacy ahead of the elections. The Tshwane Council expected to elect a new mayor on Tuesday.
Msimanga's last council sitting, chaotic. Msimanga submitted his resignation on the 31st of last month. 2 weeks ago, the opposition pushed him to vacate office immediately. But the bid was unsuccessful. He survived 3 motions of no confidence during his tenure. Leaving office, Msimanga says his hands are clean and that he served the people of Tshwane well.
I can subject myself to a lifestyle audit if one should be called, but we have said that let there be an investigation, and then from that investigation we will then see what steps needs to be taken.
Msimanga was elected unopposed after the 2016 municipal elections, this with the help from the EFF and other minority parties.
We want to say to our people, the promises that we made is the promises that I want you to hold me to. And that is of a clean government, that is of a caring government, that will be a government that will stop corruption.
Msimanga's administration was soon rocked by a string of scandals. The first was numerous poor service delivery complaints and allegations of prioritizing affluent suburbs over struggling townships. Then controversy over unqualified staff given senior positions in his administration, followed by the pending multi-billion rand Glad Africa scandal. Msimanga alleged that city manager Dr. Mosola awarded the tender irregularly.
I haven't benefited anything, and if there's any allegations, then they should be tested.
If there is an emerging proof that there's a corruption that the city manager has been involved in, we're going to deal with him.
We can't remove Mosola without following the policies and the labor laws in this country. We can't do it because we are desperate. We must still follow the letter of the law. If we don't do things right, judges will kick them off.
Msimanga says he resigned to focus on his Gauteng Premier candidacy, but speculation is rife that his own party forced him out after the slew of scandals.
In the first 2 years that he has been in, it has been a very rough and tough. Last year, remember, there was a motion of no confidence against him. So one can say that it was not an easy road for him as a coalition candidate. It is only the electorate that will cast doubt on his leadership qualities, but as well as the DA has opted to put him as their face for the 2019 elections in Gauteng province. So it is quite difficult to say that in our assessment one should not be very critical on him, but to say that the lessons learned from his mayoralship are bit casting doubts on his leadership to become the premier.
The DA announced Stevens Mokhalapa as new mayoral candidate. The party still needs the EFF support for a council majority to appoint him.
It is critical for the coalition now to think of the electorates as well, as we are looking at his, one can say, his legacy. Is there any legacy as well? But rather can say there's a pressure that has been mounting in the office of the mayor, as well as his appointments. I think one other aspect of the fail of him, it was the vetting of his appointments, his chief of staff, municipal manager, and I think that's where governance and deficit of leadership was showing its rare ugly head.
A new mayor is expected to be elected on Tuesday. His priority will be to determine city manager Mosola's fate, eradicate alleged corruption in order to improve service delivery in South Africa's biggest metro. Patricia Fasage, SABC News in Pretoria.
The ANC chair in KwaZulu-Natal has read the Riot Act to party deployees.